get you up here and let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion for you. We need to have a discussion for you. Yes, sweet girl. You gotta get a bath and everything. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We're gonna start the show in a minute. We're gonna be ready in just a minute. We just popped it on. We're gonna get the algorithm right. And we're gonna tell you just how important things are in this that I bring to you. Very, very important. Let me make a little adjustments here. We're gonna adjust this. Yeah, we gotta make some adjustments. Come on, adjust. Let's see. We get it right, we get it right, we get it right, we got it right. Right there, we got it right. Bam. Now for this one, let's get it right. Yeah, there we go. Now we got little Susie over here. Hello, hello, hello. We got a little Susie over here. We getting a couple people that's checking in, checking it out. You know, that's how we do it. That's how we do it around here. We get people that come in, check it out. We're gonna make sure that you enjoy today, but you're gonna learn something. That's what it is. So we're gonna start the show in a minute. Oh, we gotta comb this hair. Yes, we gotta get you right. You just been scumming and bumming, baby. Yeah, you just been looking beautiful, but we gotta clean you up. We gotta get them paws. Don't you what? You gotta get them paws. All right. Hello. We're gonna get started in a minute. Yes. We're waiting on the algorithm to catch up. Because when you start the live, it's not always something just popped. Is it moving slow? What's going on? Something popped real crazy right there. I know this is a later live, but it's gonna be better because we're here right now and we got it for you. We've been working on things, changing it up, getting it very precise, and it's time. Let's go. If your dog is off leash because you believe you have verbal control, I want you to hear this. Control and connection are not the same thing. A leash is not just about controlling your dog, it's about protecting your animal, protecting you, and protecting everybody around you. Did y'all hear that? Let's say it again. If your dog is off leash because you believe you have verbal control, I want you to hear this, y'all. Control and connection are not the same thing. A leash is not just about controlling your dog. It's about protecting your animal, protecting you, and protecting everybody around you. Some people believe an off-leash dog proves great training. Others say an e-collar gives them control. But the real public safety question is bigger than obedience. When conditions change without warning, are you physically connected to the animal you are responsible for? Connectivity is a layer of safety for you, your animal, other animals, and everyone else sharing the environment. A leash is a direct physical connection that lets you guide, stop, redirect, create distance, or remove your dog when circumstances change. Public space is unpredictable. You may know your dog, but you do not control every child, loose dog, vehicle, wild animal, noise, smell, or sudden event around you. You don't control that stuff. You control this stuff. You are the only one you control. Today we will separate three things people often treat as identical: training, control, and connectivity. They can work together, but they are not the same. Y'all hear that? Training, control, and connectivity. They can work together, but they are not the same. If your dog responds perfectly most of the time, what protects everyone during the one moment the environment produces something you did not expect? This is Controlled, episode 95, y'all. Connectivity. Because you playing yourself. If you think that you have verbal control, even that e-collar, you're playing yourself. Because that little shock is not going to stop what may happen. And if you don't connect up and use your leash, you're in for a world of hurt. I'm going to give you an example real quick. I went to the feed store the other day. There was a dog trainer there. First, hold on. I am Master Christian, your host. This is, Susie Spaniel, your co-host. She's chilling behind me right now. I'm going to let her chill right there. Susie Spaniel was with me when I went to the feed store just the other day. And in the feed store, right after we come in the door, we get halfway through the store where the counter, almost to the counter and everything, and I froze. And one of the people that worked there came up and said, "Hey, how you doing, Master Christian? What's going on? What you need help with today?" And I said, "Right now, nothing." They said, "What's wrong?" I said, you got an issue at your counter." "Oh, you talking to, oh, that's an 8-month-old Connie Corso. He, the guy that's with him, this young guy that's with him, he's a trainer." I said, "Yeah, okay." They said, "Oh, you could walk around. He got him." I said, "No, that dog is in a down state with an e-collar on, no leash. Me and my dog got to stand right here." I said, "Why? It's okay. He comes in here all the time." I said, "It's not okay. It's not okay that I just entered this store." See, what they didn't understand is that what was going on in their store was a risk. And all the liability was going to fall on them if that large puppy hurt anyone in their store or hurt anyone's dog in their store. But in their mind, and I'm going to have some conversations with the owner about this, they feel like he comes in all the time, he has control, and his dog doesn't do anything wrong. That risk should not be taken in anyone's business. If you're running a business, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what kind of pet store you're running, what you got going on. If a person comes into your establishment with a dog that is not on a physical leash, you got a problem. Because this is what you don't understand. If that dog does anything that injures anyone or any dogs in there, the liability falls on you, your store, because you allowed this to happen. You need to have signs at your door telling everyone that wants to bring an animal into your establishment that there's a zero tolerance on dogs coming in and being off leash. If you don't do this, you're not protecting your customers, you're not protecting your brand, you're not protecting your establishment. And that's point blank, period. This is Controlled, episode 95, connectivity. Staying connected is powerful. Not doing it can cost you. And when I say you, that's the owner of the establishment, that's whoever's involved in it. Risk is high. And yes, I'm a consultant. I consult about risk mitigation, controlling the gap. And if you're taking these risks as the owner of a business for somebody because they shop at your establishment, you'll see it's not going to turn out well for you. I am Master Christian, and this is Controlled. This is episode 95 in 95 days. We are building a place where people learn to make better decisions about human and animal behavior. If that is valuable to you, subscribe. We are doing this every day. We've been here every day for 95 days. What connectivity really means? Connectivity means maintaining a direct physical link to the animal whose movement and behavior you're responsible for. Yeah, in public, the leash provides that link. The leash is not an admission that your dog is dangerous or poorly trained. Nah, it's not. Safety systems exist because no one can predict every event. A seatbelt does not mean you expect to crash. A leash does not mean you expect your dog to fail. Understand it. The leash is safety. You don't want to get into the unexpected zone where you think and don't know what your dog's next move is. Another dog can run up on your dog, and then that creates a problem as well. If you got the leash on your dog, you can maneuver your dog out of danger quickly. If you're using the leash correctly, thumb through the loop, and you have a technique of handling it, you'll be better for this. E-collar is still an empty connection. Excuse me, I don't care how many times you shock your dog. If it's danger, if it's stimuli, if it's something that your dog really wants, it still may try to get at it. Especially if you have a big dog, they can take it. So don't play the game. Trust yourself. Trust your connection. Don't trust your voice. Don't trust e-collars and equipment that aren't connected physically to you. It's not worth trusting. A dog walks calmly beside you every morning. One day a deer bolts across your path. The dog's response can begin before you finish processing what happens, because that's prey drive. Your dog is built to chase something that's running. Hey, every dog. That's if it's running, oh, this is a game, this is a chase. A deer crossed your path. Now you got to think about it, but you haven't even realized, because you're like, whoa, a deer. The dog is like, whoa, a deer, and immediately bolts away. Physical connectivity gives you an immediate layer of intervention. So I'm connected to the dog. The deer bolts past me. All I got to do is I'm already locked. When I tell you, once you put that thumb through the loop and close your hand, that's a lock. You got to break my thumb to get this leash out my hand. So when the dog bolts, all you got to do is use leverage. I'll flip the dog if I got to. But what you're not going to do, you're not going to go chase that deer and get injured. You're not going to be free and running and I'm going to be chasing you. You're going to be safe and sound because I am connected to you. I have leather. It's not going to break. It's not going to burn my hand. And it's going to keep the dog safe and everything out here around. It's going to keep me safe if I'm handling it correctly, because if you're not and you got it wrapped, your dog will pull you straight to the ground going after that deer. Oh, my dear. Dogs possess scent, movement, sound, and body language differently from humans. They can detect and react to environmental changes before you understand what has captured their attention. You're not quick enough to be faster than a dog. You may think you are, but I got years and years, and I got decades in this, and I'm not fast enough. Let's see what the comments got to say. Do a backflip. Yeah, okay. How y'all doing? Remind me from the other live. Oh, no, remember me from the other line. Yes, I remember you from the other line. How you doing today? And today is to teach you and everybody else how this leash thing works. So you get it right this time and every time. Because I get out here and I can look out my window and see people walking their dogs through the neighborhood. And it's maybe 50-50. 50% of the dogs are connected on leash. 50% of the dogs are walking next to their owner, whether they have on an e-collar or they're just free movement. It's unacceptable behavior. You got to get it. People see dogs and get scared and immediately run. And what that does is starts a chase. And when you start that chase, that dog is going to catch them. If you're not connected, you can't stop the chase from happening. Is your dog there? Yeah, my dog is here. My dog is behind me chilling on the chair. Check that out. I'm just in front of her right now. I didn't scoot the chair over so everybody can see. She is, let's move Susie over. Let's be interactive right here. Come on, Toots. We gonna scoot you a little bit over so everybody can see you. I'm sorry to mess with your nap. Co-hosts get naps right on the spot. Yeah, that she right there chilling where she should be. While we doing a show, she not putting on. Do you use a leash because your dog is untrained or because you understand that the environment is unpredictable? Connection may seem unnecessary right up until the moment that you need it. So when do you use your leash? Because your dog is untrained or because you want to keep the dog safe, the environment safe, and everything else safe? That's how you got to play this. Right now, I'll do a demonstration in a minute. Well, what are we demonstrating? It's your leash. It's connecting your leash to the dog. No need to hook the dog up. You connect your leash to the dog. You put your thumb through the loop. You use this as a pulley. You let your dog walk next to you. And if your dog tries to bolt, you get both your hands together and you stop your dog from moving. That's how you do that. That's what this is for. This is the number one tool to keep your animal safe from all foolishness outside. If you're not using it, you are fooling yourself because you feel like you got control over something that has a heart and a brain and does not have to listen to your voice, period. It's just doing it as a courtesy. You gotta know, you do not have control over anything but yourself. That's what this show is all about. Verbal control is not a leash. A command can influence behavior. A leash can give you physical connectivity when behavior changes faster than you can react. Verbal control is not a leash. And e-collar is not a leash either. Though we may use them and walk confident. Yeah, I got it. You don't got it. Stimuli is stronger than any shock you can put to that dog because this is an animal and their natural reaction to doing things is to be an animal. You want them to be behaved. You feel like because you spent all this money on this equipment that is supposed to work. No, you work. Keep your dog safe. Use the equipment. Learn how to use the leash correctly. It doesn't take nothing. And if it's tied around your waist, they're going to yank you out. So your hands never get fully extended. You can stop all of that pressure as long as you use the leverage that you got. Anybody else got any questions before we move on? Because this is serious, y'all. I come here and I have fun and we dance and I fool around and I tell you, you the best and everything. But some things are serious. And this is one of them. All of these things are serious. But we can have fun and be serious as well. That's what this is all about. You need a 5-foot lead. At most of the stores that you're going to go to, you need a 5-foot leather leash. Yeah, 5 foot long leather. Most of the stores you're going to go to, you're going to, the leashes, the leather leashes you find, they're going to have buckles and stuff on them. So if you need proper equipment, hit me up. I get it for you. No problem, because you want professional equipment. You just don't want anything that you slapping on your dog. Because when you go to the pet store, if they do have leather, it's going to be 6 foot long. That's a little too long. But if you can control what you're doing, you can handle it. But then it's going to have pieces of metal and stuff going down it that it doesn't make it good for your hand. I've searched the world for the right leashes until somebody showed me where the right leashes were and what the right leashes look like. You don't want to have anything other than professional equipment handling your precious cargo. That's what we need. So if you need it, get at me. I'll facilitate you getting the right kind of equipment because it's important that you have it. 5-foot long leather lead, double studded, stitched top and bottom. Studded, double studded top and bottom, stitched top and bottom. That ensures that your leash does not fall apart when you need it the most. And that kind of insurance is what you need. It's imperative that you invest in the right equipment. You know, you wouldn't want to pump your water out the sink. You get the right kind of stuff for your sink. Get the right kind of stuff for your dog. Because it's important that for your life that this stuff happens correctly. Verbal control is not physical connectivity. Verbal control is valuable. It is not the same as physical connectivity. A verbal cue requires the dog to hear or perceive it, process it, and respond. Training increases reliability, but the response remains behavioral. A leash adds a physical management layer that does not depend solely on your dog's next decision. That's what verbal control depends on. It depends on your dog's next decision. Susie is her name. I got her 5 years. I've had her for 5 years. She just turned 5 years old last month. Susie Spaniel, if you want to be specific. She's a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. Now, I've raised Malinois, Rottweilers, Dobermans, miniature pinchers, Chihuahuas, Cavapoos. I've raised all kind of dogs, all kind of boxers. I've had all kind of dogs. But right here, right now, this is a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. She's my ace, my rider, my road dog. She handled that business. She with me. She ain't gonna bite nobody though. That's what the Malinois do. They bite. I still got a couple. I don't bring them on. They big. They don't fit in the studio the way we need them to. But I will. And I'll do some demonstrations with them one of these days when you need it. Definitely. Your dog normally turns immediate. Hold on. Your dog normally turns immediate when called. Yeah, when you call your dog, it turns and comes immediately. Okay. Now another dog suddenly charges behind a parked vehicle. Your dog may react before recall becomes relevant. Connectivity gives you a way to move your dog and create distance. Yeah, that loose dog. Because there's stray dogs out here too, roaming around. Dogs that's hopped the fence, dug up under the fence, just don't have a home. Yeah, there's stray dogs moving around all the time. So when your dog is off leash, that's stimuli, not just the stray dog, the squirrel, the cat, the chipmunk, anything that's moving, the child, anything that's moving quick. And before you can get them words out your mouth or press a button, your dog is already off. And once they're in motion, stopping them becomes an even greater task than when you had them, once you got them on leash. Stopping a dog is a real thing. All dogs are dangerous. Dobermans and Rottweilers, because they're bigger dogs, they're very dangerous, but they're cool dogs. Yo, they're not dangerous all the time. They're not, but they're animals. And animals have teeth. And animals will bite you. Ever met a honey badger? Lions are afraid of a honey badger, and they about this big. They're related to weasels and skunks and stuff like that. But a honey badger is one of the most fearsome animals out here. And it's fearless. What? Honey badger, look them up. But yes, dogs are dangerous. All dogs are dangerous. The most bites that I've ever heard about come from Chihuahuas. They run around and just biting everybody. Yeah, Chihuahuas. Growing up, we had one. It bit everybody. I have experience with this. I've been bitten many times by a Chihuahua. But all dogs, you know, Australian Shepherds, Dobermans, German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, any kind of dog you can name other than the Susie Spaniel. She don't bite. She might play, but that ain't the kind of girl she is. She has a different kind of personality. This personality she has, never had a dog with this sweet personality like her. Now, I've had some sweet dogs, but they still bite you. This one, none of that. Her puppies, they'll bite you. They ain't looking to bite you, but they'll get you. Let's see. Where we at right here? The safety question is not only does my dog come, it is what happens if my dog does not respond immediately this time. What happens? If your dog doesn't respond immediately this time, then you lost your dog. I haven't raised a golden retriever, but I've trained a lot of golden retrievers. It depends on personality. All dogs have different personalities. So you're not just going to look for a breed and say, well, this breed is good, because retrievers bite as well. Retrievers are hard-headed and they give people problems, or I wouldn't be training them. So let's not say we're going to get a certain breed of dog and this is a great breed of dog and it's not going to bite you, because a Frenchie will bite you. It's an animal. Keep them in the right category. Don't try to come up with a name for it, a breed for it, and think that this is safe. It's safe because you teach it and you use love and you don't come down hard on it and you don't beat it and all that, and you teach it to be responsible, but still use your equipment. It's important. You do get a dog to follow. No, you lead a dog. That's what the equipment is for. You want to use the leash. All that following and everything, we following online. Follow, subscribe, like, and share. Follow me. The dog, don't worry about all that following, because they're going to follow you around the house because you're interesting to them and they have nothing else to do. But don't let that fool you. I've had many people say, my dog follows me around anyway. I don't have to use the leash. Yeah, until something happens, nothing has happened. Stop playing yourself, because that's the only person you playing. And that bill is going to hit your pockets when your dog does something that it shouldn't have done and mess something up. Unless you're a business and you allow people to come in there and have their dog loose, like I said before. Yeah, don't think that you're going to get something that's following and paying attention. You do not have control unless you have control. And the leash gives you physical, connected control of maneuverability. That's what this is about. How much consequence are you willing to attach to one missed command? One missed command is all it takes. You being too slow. You on your social media using your phone. You not paying attention. You talking. You got them headphones in and you missed the command. And your dog is off. I'm telling you, they move fast. I don't care what breed of dog. Even the small, fat dog move fast when it sees something it wants. So don't take them chances. Them chances can end up very poor for you. Your dog can be extremely trained and still make one decision you did not predict. Public safety should not depend on perfection. Public safety should depend on you doing what is required to keep everybody safe. And I tell you about a master trainer that I know. A master trainer that I know that used to throw a Frisbee with his Dobermans, big Dobermans. And they like to fight every once in a while over the Frisbee. So he walking around throwing the Frisbee. I got a big Rottweiler with me. He walking around throwing the Frisbee. And the dogs had on e-collars. So I know this from experience. So dogs run, they get the Frisbee, and they want to fight. He's able to press the button. They count, they bring the Frisbee back. They don't fight each other. Well, one day they said, to hell with this e-collar stuff. He threw the Frisbee, and they got to fight. Oh, yeah. And it was a big fight. And he had to go get in it to break his Dobermans up. And then he looked back at me, and he said, help. But I got this Rottweiler with me, and I'm maneuvering this Rottweiler up out of here because The next thing they would do, they're fighting each other. They may try to fight the Rottweiler, my puppy. And I wasn't having that. So I couldn't help him do anything. All I could do was keep back up out of there and hope that he could get it together. And he master dog trainer. Yeah, it happens. Because we don't think things are going to happen until they happen. It happened. And they bit him to the bone. And he was bleeding profusely. Yeah, it happens when we're not on our A game. And we got to stay on our A game when we're dealing with animals. You got to. Any miss that you have, and you'll have 24 stitches to the face like I did. Is it true that you have a pet, you have to pet your dog while they eat so they don't get food aggression? If you don't want food aggression, feed the dog directly out of your hand until they get used to it. If you don't want food aggression. Don't be down there stroking your dog while they're trying to eat. Put the food in your hand. Let them eat out of your hand. Love them all the time that you want, that you can get to love them. And change what they got going on. Let them know it's okay for a person to hold the food. Don't just be petting and trying things. That's why, good question, good question. Appreciate that. Feed them out your hand. How long feed them out your hand? Until. Get used to it. Build a relationship. Don't just take them to the groomer, give them baths. All of these things that you do with your animal is building a relationship. And a positive relationship is what you're there to build. If you do not build a positive relationship with your dog, things gonna show up. You're gonna have some problems. It is what it is. So a lot of people give the relationship away to the groomer, to the trainer, to all these other folks. Yeah, do this for me. You still need to be on it. That's why when I teach the dog the commands and everything, then I got to train the family. See, teach the dog, train the family. It's interchangeable because the family needs to be doing the same thing. Everybody needs to be on the same page. If the family not on the same page and everybody's doing something different and they're confusing the dog and they're not using the equipment correctly, we got to be on the same page. Now, subscribe, follow, like, share, support, $ Master CT. And yo, we're going to move into animal news today. Animals Today News. Controlled episode 95. Top story. If you saw my flyer, the top story is the mosquitoes in Atlanta. Yeah, those are the animals today. The mosquitoes in Atlanta. West Nile detected in metro Atlanta. Mosquitoes in Atlanta passing along West Nile. I'm in Atlanta. I don't want West Nile. Health officials in DeKalb and Fulton counties are warning residents after mosquito surveillance found West Nile virus in multiple locations. In DeKalb, positive traps have been reported around Avondale Estates, Clarkston, Duraville, the Decatur Stonecrest area, and the North Druid Hills area. By August 18th, Atlanta News first reported 7 positive DeKalb traps for 2026. Fulton County has also reported infected mosquito samples. For Animals Today, this is more important than a human health story. West Nile virus circulates between mosquitoes and birds, and the mosquitoes can also infect horses and people. Pet owners and animal caretakers should pay attention to standing water and mosquito exposure around yards, kennels, barns, and outdoor animal areas. Something as small as a mosquito can connect wildlife, domestic animals, and human health. A mosquito. So if you can spray your yard for mosquitoes, go get some spray. If you can, put some spray on your arms, get some Skin So Soft, get some off, get something. Because West Nile, for people in metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas, has been detected. That's our top story today because that really matters. Do you want West Nile? I don't think you do. How many weeks old should a puppy be before it's done drinking? Oh, you got to wean the puppy at around 5 to 6 weeks off the milk. Yeah, you got to wean the puppy. Puppy don't need to keep drinking the milk. It's starting to get on the mother's nerves. You want to start grinding up some food and adding water and making mush and feeding it. You want to start using that. Probably the same food. Get some puppy food because you should be feeding the mother puppy food already. And grind that up, mix it up with some water or some electrolyte, some Pedialyte or something. Mix it up, make it into a mush, and feed it to your puppies until they're large enough to start eating hard kibble or some other kind of soft food. You want to do this early. So 5 to 6 weeks, you got to wean that dog. 5 weeks, you got to wean that dog off the mother's milk. If the mother don't want it, she going to start getting up running away anyway because once they got teeth, they're going to be biting into her nipples and she ain't going to like that. They don't like that. River otter returns to New York City's Bronx River. A motion-activated camera has detected a North American river otter in New York City's Bronx River. The first confirmed sighting there is roughly a century. In roughly a century. They haven't seen a river otter in New York's river in 100 years. Otter rivers disappeared as population and habitat destruction and trapping degraded the waterway. Decades of cleanup, decades of cleanup and ecological restoration have helped wildlife return, including beavers and oysters. One otter does not prove that a permanent population has returned, but the sighting is a remarkable indicator of what long-term habitat restoration can accomplish. When water quality improves, the effects can move through an entire food web. Yo, in 100 years, New Yorkers have not seen a river otter. Now, they see it. One. Hopefully some more come back. They shouldn't have ran them off. What y'all doing, man? Quit running all the animals off their land. They need that land. That's where they live. Stop the games. Pump your brakes. 13 animals released in Phong Nha Bang. Okay. Conservation teams in Vietnam released 13 rescued wild animals back into the forest of Phong Nha Bang on August 19th. Reports say groups include pangolins, monkeys, turtles, and other wildlife that have undergone rescue and rehabilitation before being returned to suitable habitats. Release is the goal of wildlife rehabilitation when an animal is healthy, behaviorally capable, and the environment is appropriate. Successful reintroduction depends on whether the animal can feed, avoid danger, and function independently after human care. Yeah, they need to be able to function because just putting the animal back and they can't function is a death sentence. And we don't want to do that to these animals. So I just want to, before I end animal news today, I'm going to just stop with these top 3 stories. But understand, Atlanteans, Georgia, that West Nile is bad. And we need to take precautions. Like I said, go get something to spray your yard. No standing water. Use Skin So Soft off. Use a repellent. You don't want West Nile. You don't want your animals to get West Nile. You want to be safe and secure. Take the precautions. They're not going to be 100%, but you still taking precautions. And that is Animal News, Animal Today News. That's all we're going to give you today. I have more stories, but nah, we got to stick with what it is. West Nile. Cancel that. We don't want it. So, you don't want it, use the precautions. Just be aware that that's what's popping off right now. All right, so again, subscribe, follow, like, share, support. And if you need help with your dog, MasterChristian.com. This show is presented to you by Master Christian LLC, MasterChristian.com. Are dogs allowed to eat blueberries? You can give them fruit. Each different fruit, you want to look it up. I'm not going to tell you what fruits they can eat. You can look that up. But human food and all that stuff, popcorn and all that stuff, you really don't want to give that to your dog. Somebody cooked that. Something it's butter put on it. It's different additives put in it. You don't want to give human food to dogs. People do all the time. And that Chihuahua I mentioned used to eat off my aunt's plate. But it's not healthy. It doesn't have the nutrition they need. And you can find something better. Fruit, on the other hand, certain fruits, you don't want to give a dog. Chocolate, you definitely don't want to give to a dog. But those other fruits, look them up. Go online, look them up. Make sure you're not giving your dog something that's going to make it sick. Blueberries have antioxidants. They're actually good for dogs and everything. But still, look it up. Don't take my word for this one, because you have, obviously, you connected. So look it up. Be safe. Make sure you give your dog the right things. Let's see. E-collar. E-collar. An e-collar can communicate with your dog. It cannot physically connect your dog to you. Those are two different safety functions. An e-collar can communicate with your dog, but it cannot connect your dog to you. Those are two separate functions. An electric collar, this is the e-collar argument. An electric collar may be used by some trainers, handlers, as communication tools. But electric communication does not create a physical connectivity. Yeah, you can use electric collars, but they do not create physical contact. Is what it is. An e-collar cannot physically prevent a dog from entering a roadway, reaching another animal, or closing the distance with a frightened person. Equipment can also be affected by charge, fit, handling, range, timing, or human error. So if it's not charged, if it doesn't fit good, if your timing is off, if you miss the situation, what good is that e-collar? But if you're connected and you have your thumb through the loop and you're holding your leash correctly, then you can stop the dog from doing what needs to be done. Dogs and TV. I got a question over here about dogs and TV. Yeah, dogs can get sick and die if they eat chocolate, so don't give them chocolate. But look that up as well. Dogs and TV, hey, if the TV is on, that's cool. If your dog looks at it, it's cool. We don't know what they're doing. We don't even need to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Worry about keeping your dog safe, healthy, and happy. Love your dog. Be interactive. You be the television. Don't let something else take over that space. All right. An electrical collar cannot physically prevent a dog from entering anything. So that's what I'm telling you. It is understanding what each tool can and cannot do. The e-collar can get your dog's attention sometimes. The leash can get your dog's attention all the time. That's what you need. You need your dog's attention all of the time. And even when you use the e-collar, your dog doesn't have to respond. It does most of the time if you have it on right, if it's in charge, if you got everything moving in your direction, if your timing is good. But no spotty. 100%. 100%. We need to be 100%. A dog begins moving towards a distraction. An electric cue may influence the dog's decision. A leash also gives the handler a physical means to limit the motion while directing the dog. Also, if you're holding the leash, you feel that movement. You don't have to see it. And you can respond without looking. Yeah, it's 100%. You want to be 100%. So the only way you're going to be 100% is to be part of it, physically part of it. Not carrying a box, pressing a button, not using your voice, using the one thing we know works 100%. Your hands and your leash. That's what we know. A dog's arousal can change rapidly. Fear, prey drive, defensive behavior, excitement, or surprise can alter responses in a particular moment. Electric communication is not physical connectivity. An e-collar and a leash perform different safety functions. Why treat one as an automatic replacement for another? You should not treat it as an automatic replacement. Nothing replaces your leash. Nothing. Not your voice, not an e-collar, not food, not anything. Nothing replaces your leash. Safety is bigger than your dog. Public safety includes everyone sharing the space. Your assessment of your dog is only one part of the equation. Oh, my dog is trained. It does what I tell it to do. It pays attention to me. Don't be so cocky about that, because there's other dogs out here moving, and safety depends on you. And one thing I can show you right here is when my dog is connected to this leash and another dog is trying to come up, I can bring my dog back and I can use my whip if I need to stop that other dog. I'm not saying hit another dog. I'm saying do what you need to do to keep your animal safe and keep other dogs away from you. And if you got a small dog and it's on leash and you need to pick it up, you can pull the leash up and grab it. You got to be able to maneuver for safety. I see too many people with their dogs off leash and they run up and they're trying to bite little dogs and chase and grab little dogs. And people, one man, I did a story, one man got a few of his fingers bitten off and they had to reattach him in Georgia because he lifted his dog up to get it away from another dog, and the dog bit him because it wanted to bite his dog. Got to be safe, people. Use the equipment right. Use the equipment right. A person may fear dogs. A child may be running unexpectedly. Another dog may be reactive, elderly, recovering from a surgery, working, or in training. Nobody should be required to interact with your dog simply because you believe your dog is friendly. That's all that pushing your dog up and, oh, my dog don't bite. I don't care if your dog don't bite. Don't send it over here if I didn't ask for it. Tell them no. People want to pet your dog. Tell them no. Sit. Sit. No sit. Good girl. Tell them no. Just like I told her no sit. You would have to consult your vet about the dog getting cancer. I'm not qualified to say if it's easy or whatever's going on with your dog getting cancer. So you would have to consult your vet and check on breeds and do a lot of extra things if you want that question answered. But thanks for that question. So an off-leash friendly dog runs towards a leash dog. The owner shouts, "He's friendly," but the other handler is creating distance because that dog cannot safely greet. The problem is not friendliness. The problem is that the other handler's ability to choose was removed. Yeah, I need to say if your dog can come over here towards my dog or not. But when your dog is off leash and it's just running towards my dog, and I'll shoot your dog. I'm sorry. If your dog is going to harm my animal, I'm sorry. You got to keep your dog on leash because that's dangerous. And I've been on trails and stuff where people are going down the trail with their dog off leash, and I watched their dog go after somebody else. and I watch their dog coming towards my dog, and I tell them, get your dog now. And they're like, oh, my dog is safe, it's not gonna bite. You don't want them problems. We don't need them problems. You got to do some research. The breeder I got Susie from, they're not available anymore. So it's no need for me to tell you that information because they're not available. You gotta go do some research, look around and find what you're looking for. Now, I got puppies from Susie if you want to get puppies from Susie. They're a year old, but I got 2 good males. And they'll lick you and love you to death. Good males, and they've been working, so they know what to do. All right, y'all. A leash is not only protection for your dog, it protects another person's right to decide whether they want your animal, want their animal to interact with yours. A leash is protecting everybody. If everybody's using a leash, we got protection moving around. Responsibility before something happens is what we're trying to build. Responsibility before something happens is the main thing. Responsible handling is proactive. It is not waiting for an incident and then deciding what safety measure should have helped. Connectivity gives the handler options before interaction becomes an incident. You can shorten the distance, change directions, stop forward motion, step away from the hazard, or prevent an unwanted approach. A child approaches too quickly. The dog, with the dog connected, the handler can position the dog, create space, communicate with the child or parent, and decide whether an interaction should happen. Yeah, I can block the child with my body if I got my dog on leash. Yeah, I can block it out. But if you don't have your dog on leash, there's no blocking or anything that can go on. You gotta be connected if you want to keep children safe and keep everybody safe. It's no in between. You got to be connected. Protecting your dog also means preventing your dog from being placed in situations where it feels forced to make a defensive decision. The leash is not a replacement for training. It is another layer of safety. So even if you don't have training, your leash is going to give you control, some control, if you learn how to use your leash. So you still need handling training, regardless on if your dog got training. But getting your dog trained and you getting that handling training, yo, that's the deal. Now you're going to be better. I can't say that incidents won't happen, but the percentages of you being able to avoid incidents, stop them while they're happening, and keep your dog safe is going to be way higher than not. You want those percentages on your side. No, you don't need a doggy car seat. There's a certain way to hook your leash in the car if you don't want your dog bouncing around. We'll get to that. One day I'll show you an example. But have your dog connected to the leash, fold your leash in half, close the door next to your dog where your dog is sitting. Give him enough leash to sit there. Some of your leash will be on the outside of the car. It's not going to hurt the car. But the dog won't be able to bounce around and make you have an accident. This leash is very valuable. Then when you go get your dog, you go to the door where the leash is closed in it. You grab handle, you open the door with your leash in your hand, and you can escort your dog out the car. I'll give you an example of that one day. But that's how that works. You don't need no doggy seats, but if you want to get it, that's on you. That's how it works. Staying connected is powerful. Not doing it can cost you. The leash is a direct line of responsibility between you and your animal. You choose to bring into a shared public space. So if you want a direct connection to the animal that you're taking into a shared public space, this is it. Stop the games. At that feed store, like I said, I'll be talking to the owner because that's risk and liability right up front. And if they don't put an end to that, you'll see. It's going to happen. If this changed the way you looked at a leash, subscribe to Control. We are here every day talking about the decisions people make, the behavior behind them, and how those decisions directly affect people and animals. So subscribe, follow, like, share, support. We need you to do all those. Control and connectivity are not identical. Training and verbal cues include behavior. A leash maintains a physical connection. Connectivity protects more than your dog. It helps protect the handler, other people, other animals, and the shared environment. Good safety uses layers, training, awareness, communication, appropriate equipment, and physical connectivity reinforce one another. So that's what you need when you're working out here. You need all of them working for you. Would you rather demonstrate how well your dog behaves off leash or maintain every responsible layer of safety available to you? Because, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I want off-leash training. Yeah, I'll give you some off-leash training, but I'm going to give you all of this. Be connected, be connected, be connected. Because off-leash training does not maintain control. From a master trainer, off-leash training does not maintain control. Not control of what you're doing, not control of what the dog is doing. It's not happening. That's why people get bit. The authorities' dogs bite them. Yeah, police dogs bite them too. Because they don't have control over what's going on when they're trying to do all these high energy things. This is an animal. Stop playing it like it's not an animal. Yeah, stop playing it like it's not an animal. This is definitely an animal, and you are definitely responsible. So don't shirk your responsibility. Be responsible. Your dog can be highly trained and still benefit from physical connectivity. Public safety cannot be based only on what you believe your dog will do. Other variables are outside your control. Responsibility means reducing preventable risk before you need to explain why something happened. The next time you take your dog in public, look at the leash differently. Do not see it as simply something restricting your dog's movement. See it as a direct line of responsibility between you and your animal. Ask whether your decisions are protecting all four groups: you, your animal, other animals, and everyone else. That's what you need to do. Protect all groups available: you, your animal, other animals, and everyone else. Connectivity is not about proving that you do not trust your dog. It's recognizing that you do not have control, that you do not control the entire environment. Stay trained, stay aware, stay responsible, stay connected, because not being connected could be a very bad mistake. Your dog should be on leash. Here's why. Control episode 95. That's what this is. I am Master Christian. This is Susie Spaniel. Follow, subscribe, like, share, believe in yourself, use the equipment, provide it. You got to provide it. If you need help, if you need to get the right kind of equipment, hit me up, put it in the comments, send me a direct message. Go to masterchristian.com and send me a message. We'll get you the right kind of equipment, because I know where it's at. Professional equipment just for you. Now we got a puzzle piece to put in before we finish. I guess we made it to an hour now or something. So bam. No, I keep missing. Let's not miss this time. Let's get it all the way. There we go. There we go. We got it all the way in. So love yourself, love your animals. Be prepared, use the equipment, do it right. There are no in-betweens. Keep everybody safe. Keep yourself safe. Have a great day. I am Master Christian. We out. Peace.